After you've set up your Doctopus assignment and send out the document to all of your students, you can actually add a rubric using Goobric. Now, Goobric is an extension that you can add, however, it only works if you've used Doctopus first. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually create a rubric. To create a rubric, I just use a Google spreadsheet, and I have it laid out where I have the left-hand column is what they're getting graded on. So for example, content, describe your environmental problem. The top first box, A1, I've left empty. But in cell B1, C1, D1, E1, I've put in the number of points that each one is worth, or each category. And then I put in my description in each of those boxes of what it means to earn that score. And I've saved this document, this rubric, in the same folder that I have my assignment in. Now, when I'm going to go back to the folder that I set up and ran my Doctopus script, I'm actually going to go to Doctopus, and you'll notice down here, after going through all the steps, it now says that I can attach a Goobric. So this is going to attach my Google rubric. So I click on that, and it runs the script. And the first time you use this, it's going to ask you to install the Chrome extension if you haven't already. And you can tell if you've already installed it by looking up here in my Omnibox, which is like the address bar, and you can see the Goobric little guy here. So I've already installed it. You also want to authorize the Goobric Rib app. So you would just click on these links if you have not already done this. In this case, for me, I've already set this up, so I've already run through step 1 and 2. Then step 3 says create and select a rubric for this Doctopus assignment, and that the rubrics must be created in the top of a spreadsheet. You need to use the numeric score header starting in column 2 and a skill or competency strands in each row. So that's here. And you can see that it's already selected my rubric. I've gone in previously. You just click select rubric here, and you find your spreadsheet that is your rubric. And you can even do a search here to find it. But since I've already connected mine, you can see that it's right here. So now I'm going to attach a Goobric to this assignment, and it will attach it. And it's going to take a minute for it to do. Okay, now you'll get a message saying it's displaying only the latest rubric score for each assignment, but you can see up above over here, in my case it was here before I started because I've already connected this rubric, but you can see that it has all the rubric parts, and I've already graded a lot of my students here. But how it will now work, how you get to access that rubric, is if you go to a student's document, and this was their project where they did some of their initial research, but it wasn't actually what I was grading. This just has students' notes on here. But in this case, this was a project that students presented a video and had a blog. So I have already watched them give their presentation, watched their video, and I have looked at their blog. Now when I want to attach the score in the rubric, I'm going to click on this little Goobric icon in my Omnibox, and it's looking for the correct associated rubric, the one that I just added. And you can see that I already have filled this rubric out last spring when my students did this project. And the way that you would use it is you just type in the score in each of the boxes, and you can scroll down. This student did very well on this project. And you can add any extra comments that you want to give, any feedback down at the bottom. And then if I check this box, it will email the rubric score to the student, and they'll get a copy of this rubric in their email. And when I then press submit and paste to the doc, it will actually add it to the bottom of the document. So the student can see the grade right here on the bottom of the document. Now you can use Goobric with documents, and it will attach it to the bottom. If you actually use Goobric with a spreadsheet or send it out with a presentation, you'll still be able to fill out the rubric and send it as an email, but it only actually attaches to documents. One of the things that kind of is not my favorite about Goobric is when I'm clicking on this rubric, see how it kind of covers up a lot of the student work? I can move my window a little bit and try it again, but every time you click out of it, when I moved this window, it moved the document. And if I want to like scroll down and see what the student did, I can't really read much of their paper. So you kind of have to know what the grade is before you fill it out on the Gubrick. But it gives you a great way to give students feedback.